Hey everybody, here Ducks, and I'll be talking about the Guardian Druid. It's probably the first class that I'm really not satisfied with what I saw so far in this build, right? So, again, first rank, I wanted to go with Brambles, but I couldn't. Anyways, what it does is passive. Sharp Brambles protect you, absorbing and reflecting up to 831 damage for each attack. While Barkskin is active, the Brambles also deal 906 damage to all nearby enemies every second. So I was going to go with that, but because the spec has like really just 3 spells to use, maybe 4 if you add Moonfire, which completely ruins the whole idea of like the class fantasy, which is to play a freaking bear. Who the fuck cares about little Moonfires? No. No Moonfire, take that out. Don't want it. Not part of the fantasy. Right? There's like, I mean, there's so many ways that you could have done that better than this, but anyways, hopefully it's early in alpha and that will change. That's all I can think of. I picked Pulverize because there's so many periods of time where you're doing absolutely nothing on a melee class. That should never happen. You should always have something to do. Actually, you should actually have more than enough things to do. But because of that, I picked Pulverize. But the thing is, it only works after you applied 3 times Trash, and it takes forever. It's like, ugh, worst fucking decision ever. And then you have Blood Frenzy, which is a passive that gives you more rage, but more rage when you don't really have abilities to spend it on is not really that attractive. You need more than that, right? Next one, I basically they added this one, which was in the WoD, which is increase your radius of stampeding roar and incapacitating roar by 200%, reduces the cooldown of stampeding roar by 50%. But again, I really like Displacer Beast. But again, everybody's to their own in this one. And Wild Charge grants a movement ability that varies by shapeshift form. Anyways, it's all depending on what you prefer as far as movement options. Next one, they added this is new, where you have Balance Affinity or Feral or Resto, one of the 3. I picked Resto because it just heals me for a little bit more, so I figured that'd be what I want. And also, we've lost one of the good heals that we had before. I don't know why they removed that, but anyways, that was one of the good things they had for Druids that's gone now. Anyways, so Mighty Bash, that hasn't changed for me. I don't go, like, you have Mass Entanglement and Typhoon. They're nothing old here. But I always go with Mighty Bash because I think there's a need for them to have at least a stun. The next one is where maybe you can get a little bit different on what I picked Soul of the Forest. Mangle could generate 5 more rage and deals 15% more damage. Or you could go with Incarnation Guardian of Ursoc, which I was doing that before, which has a 3-minute cooldown now, an improved bear form that reduces the cooldown of all melee damage abilities and growl up to 1.5 seconds and causes Mangle to hit up to 3 targets last 15 seconds. This is a pretty big cooldown, so I can see people like tossing back and forth depending on what they want to do. But the cooldown is pretty usual, 3 minutes. That's what's making me kind of lean towards 15% more in Mangle. Then the Galactic Guardian is the third one. Your damage has a 5% chance to trigger a free automatic Moonfire on that target. When this occurs, the next Moonfire that you cast generate 15 rage. Again, you don't really have rage issues, so anyways, so I guess I just didn't go for that either. So between Soul of the Forest in my mind and Incarnation of Guardian of Ursoc. Then after that we go to the next one, Earth Warden. Every 6 seconds you gain a charge of Earth Warden, up to 3 charges. And Earth Warden reduces the damage of the next auto attack you take by 30%. So that's still defensive here. But I usually go for Guardian of Elune. Mangle increases the duration of your next Iron Fur or Mark of Ursol by 2 seconds, or the healing of your next Frenzied Regeneration by 20%. So pretty darn good cooldown right there as well. If you time your Mangle with your Frenzied Regeneration when you have a lot of rage, and you're just gonna heal right back up. And the last one is reduce the cooldowns of Barkskin and Survival Instinct by 50%. But again, it just depends on what you're looking for. I can see some PvPers wanting to go for that instead of the other ones. They'd rather have cooldowns than have, something like that. But then again, it could be a toss-up too. I mean, if Frenzy Regeneration heals them that much better, right? And the last one, while in bear form, Trash also increases the damage dealt to the target and reduces the damage taken to the target by 2% per stack. And then I took Lunar Beam because I felt I needed a little bit more of a heal if emergency if I needed it. So summons a beam of lunar light at your location for 8 seconds. Every second the beam will heal you for 13.5k heal and deal 4.5k arcane damage to enemies. And then Bristling Fur has changed. It's not the same as it was before. You bristle your fur, causing all attacks against you to generate rage for 8 seconds. So it's basically a rage generator. So yeah, the biggest problem right now with the Druid, the Guardian Druid, is they have like 5 or 6 defensive cooldowns or of some kind, of some sort, and then they have like 4 abilities that they use for combat. It's really not good enough. Like we're talking about. Let me go bring back my bar there so you can actually so I can see them. Mangle, you have your Maul, and you have your Trash. They remove Lacerate, so now you don't have a filler of any kind. So you have to use those 3 abilities, and your filler is Moonfire. Like, are you kidding me? I don't want Moonfire. Please change this. I do not want Moonfire as a filler. That's horrible. I want something that's quick and easy and hits everything around, or something that's like Lacerate. Honestly, I didn't like Lacerate, to be honest with you, but I like a filler of some kind, a bleed or something. I don't know. Figure it out, but not Moonfire. And yeah, so if you have that many defensive cooldowns, there's definitely a way that you can actually add something like to deal more damage overall. I'm looking at Demon Hunters. They do a ton of AoE damage. They have at least 2 or 3. Why can't we add a freaking another AoE to the Druid tanking when they used to just spam AoE almost all the time? Now at least you give them a little bit of, like, you know, a couple of cooldowns to keep aggro. Anyways, that's all I had to say for Druids. Hopefully that was useful. Again, if you liked the video, please thumbs up, and see you guys later.